Yo, what's up, guys? Hope y'all having a great day. Thank you for watching Deadside Consoles releasing the 1.5 Barrier Quality Life and Rebalancing update. This will be released Wednesday at 5 a.m. So if you're a former Rust player, you guys will probably be up offlining people, so you can hop on here and check it out. Honestly, this is a pretty good update. They've been rolling out these updates really quick. The cycle that they do is PC will get an update, then a month later we'll get it, and it just keeps going in that cycle. They've been giving us updates quicker than Rust console ever did, so I'm pretty stoked about that. And in the image right here, you can see the new Scorpion model and also the metal barricades that you can craft, which is pretty dope looking. They're like the ones at the safe zones. I think they're just a different color. That's pretty dope. So let's go ahead and check out this update. Also, I'll put a link in the pinned comment, so if I miss anything, you guys can check it out there. I'm not going to read everything, so I'd recommend checking that out anyway. First up is they're going to remove explosives from safe zones, so you're not going to be able to hide your explosives there, which is fine. People are still going to keep them on their body, but I'm not really worried about people keeping like an inventory of stuff on their body anyway. The fact that you can like log off, or your internet crash or something like that, and you don't have to worry about your body getting looted or whatnot, it seems like a fair exchange to me. So I don't really mind that if people log off their boom and a couple of guns and shit. Don't hurt my feelings none. Plus, it's so easy to get stuff in this game; it's not really that big of a deal. We're going to talk about the loot rebalances and added muzzle brakes, which is dope. They're adding muzzle brakes and magazine extensions and epic missions, hard missions, heli crashes, and buried crashes. Also, you're going to be able to get scopes in the red welded crates in the military base, which is pretty dope. There's a 30% chance of getting scopes, which is sick because before, to get any optics, you had to either go buy them or you had to camp convoys, and you'd always run into big groups there. If you're a solo, it's really hard to get optics unless you just got lucky and killed one of those clan members when they're running around by themselves. Also, they reduce debuffs for medication use. The Med-X is only going to do negative 10 hydration and negative 10 food, and Painkiller is only going to do negative 10 hydration. I don't know how it's going to change PvP. I kind of like the fact when you were fighting people, they couldn't heal that quickly. So if you're doing like a 1v2 or 1v3, it made it a lot easier for me to be a solo. And I don't know. I've never really even used the Painkiller or the Med-X. I always stayed away from them because I'm always. If you've ever played with me, I'm always starving or I'm dying from hydration. Also, the tensions have gotten buffed. I'm not gonna read all of them. You can see them on the screen, but the tensions are actually a pretty good buff. Using the red ones and the green ones to go PvP or do a raid or something kind of makes sense now. I might actually start keeping those. Usually I just chug it down and whatever, so it saves room in my inventory, and I also get to use it. Also, features and changes. They added a Scorpion remodel, which I already went over. They added a new food, the muscles, which will be spawning in Miri now, which was originally in the PvP map, which was pretty dope. I would grab those, and if you cook them, they give you like, I think, what was it? Same as the tincture. I think it was like +6 per minute or some shit like that. I forgot. Maybe it was every 15 minutes. I can't remember, but they're pretty good. I like those for food. Those and the cooked mushrooms are fire. They also added the new junk pile world model, so I think that's going to be the same one that's from the PvP map. They're just bringing those over to Mirini, which would be dope. They added welded crates to the new PvP map, or added more to the new PvP map. Vehicles can now spawn in the world without fuel. So I don't know if that's going to be Jeeps or if it's just going to be motorcycles that are going to spawn on the road, but that's dope. So if you guys, get fuel or whatever, you can run around looking for a bike or hopefully Jeeps, and it's not like you have to go look for them inside of like a point of interest. So that'd be dope. That allows people to move around quicker in the game. That's a good change. I like that. Hopefully, like I said, it will be Jeeps. It's not just the motorcycles. Fuel cans can only have one use, but you can stack them up to 10, which is good. Blowtorches can now cause damage on building structures. A lot of people were upset about this one, but I think it's good. I kind of think of it as the Explo ammo from Rust. Instead of like using 4 satchels on a door, you can use 3 satchels and 10 expo ammo. It's like the same thing with the blowtorch, since explosive in this game does like a window, does like 75 to 100. That's just an example. It's not actually that. But in case they all do 75 and there's like, whatever, 25 health left on a door, you don't need to waste an explosive for it. You can just use a blowtorch, which is good. I don't see people fully raiding. I mean, maybe log doors or, twig or something like that. But I feel like after you get the plank, I don't see people fully raiding a wall or a door with it. I feel like it'd take too long and it'd cost too much and it'd take too much time to get that many blowtorches. It's just easier to get the explosives. So I really see it's going to change the balancing that much. It'll just make raiding easier. Honestly, I think it's a great change. Like I said, the storage of explosives and its components are now going to be prohibited. I wonder, it says components, so I wonder if that's going to be, there's a lot of stuff that would be considered, like the duct tape, I think is one, cell phones. I wonder if those are not going to be able to be stored there. They added the sandbag barricades, and they remodeled those from what they were in the public testing. So I've seen the public testing ones. I was going to show a picture of it, but since they remodeled it, I don't know what it's going to look like now, so I'm not going to bother. So we'll just have to see when it comes out Wednesday. They added the metal barricades. I'm pretty sure I already went over that. They increased the durability of shells, the shells that you can craft, but it also costs more to craft them, so that's a good trade-off. Knife and axes can now do damage to crates, which is dope. Before you had to use explosives and whatnot, so that's pretty cool. Duck trophies can now be placed on square and triangle ceilings. That's great. This is the real MVP of the update right here. Thank God they fixed that. Components are now automatically placed into your inventory, and items when they are disassembled and torn. So that's dope. So now when you tear like clothing, you don't have to pick it up off the ground. It should go straight into your inventory, which is a great fix right there. That was kind of a pain in the ass. I remember tearing up a bunch of stuff and then being like, oh shit, I didn't go in my inventory. I have to go back. Especially when you first start playing the game, you don't think about that. Or you're teaching somebody how to play the game, they don't realize it doesn't go straight in their inventory. So that's a great change right there. Implemented squad invites via the player list, which is great. They added Discord integration about base status and events. So if somebody's offline in your base, if you have the Discord integration, it'll let you know. That's sick. Man, Rust console don't have that, and that game's been out forever. Bro, that's good. That's a great change. I'm really excited about that. I have to mess with that. They also added sleeping bag sharing with friends. So does that mean like you can give them a sleeping bag like you can in Rust? Or does that mean you guys can actually use the same sleeping bags? Hey, if you guys are sharing sleeping bags, you gotta go toes to nose, otherwise it's it's weird, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so this is the bug fixes. I'm not gonna read all these. I'm not even gonna try, bro. I'm not gonna lie, but I'll go over the ones that I thought were important. But a lot of these were just animation fixes for jumping and whatnot. They added a base blocker so you can't build in mini bunkers, which is kind of funny that people were doing. That's crazy. People even pull out a hammer and start trying to build in there. So let's see here. There's another one I saw. I think there's two of them that were building that were important. Okay, so yeah, they fixed an exploit where you could use an assault ladder to move and build underwater. So those are those unraidable quote-unquote bases people are building underwater. I guess they're not going to be able to do that now, which is kind of cool. And also they fixed the inability to climb up on a half wall. There's a ceiling above you. So I remember, like, if you played Rust, the jump ups that you would normally use in Rust, where you couldn't build them, it just wouldn't work because the ceiling above your head. So now you're going to actually be able to have Rust style jump ups, which will change the building a lot in the game, which honestly, that's the only thing they need to work on in this game, in my opinion. The gun mechanics, so the guns look nice, the firefights are cool, like the balancing is pretty good in the game. I love the way the game looks. It's like really beautiful, especially with the way the guns look, being a gun nerd and whatnot. So honestly, if they just fix the building, I feel like this game would go crazy, because that's the one thing they're lacking in. So honestly, that's kind of cool. They're making it more like Rust with the jump ups. I feel like that'll be a lot easier for you guys to like actually build bases, like especially the base like at 1x2s and circle bases will be a lot easier like that, to be honest. So okay, so that's all cool. I think there was another one that was oh, fix the bug where you could use duct tape to open up the welded boxes. That was funny. I thought there's another one that they had. Okay, so they added icons for the metal and wood planers on the map. So that means now that people are going to know where all the wood and metal planers are, which is dope. I mean, before, if you knew where one was and no one else knew about it, you felt cool. Like, hey, there's a metal planer here no one knows about. Haha, get fucked. But now everyone's going to know about it, which is, I don't know, help with, I guess, the balancing. People are not going to just necessarily live by the ones that are like by... was it the one by the southern outpost or whatever? And people always base next to that one, so people might move around their base a little bit more if they know where the other metal and wood planers are, which is kind of dope. Also, it'll be like good PvP opportunities. People are going to be using them more, so if you hear like wood planer going off, you can actually just go camp it and wait for the person to come back and fight them or whatever. So that's kind of dope. I actually like that. And I'm pretty sure that's all the important ones. I'm sure there's other ones like I didn't see. Whatever. You guys can check it out. There'll be a link in the pinned comment so you can read it for yourself. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Also, if you want to stay up to date with Rust, oh, I almost said Rust content. Rust and Dead Side content, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll catch you all later. Deuces.